Okay, everybody. Good afternoon, good evening, or good morning, depending on where you're located, depending on what time you're watching this. Here for another catch up with Mayo and a very dry room where as I'm saying these first words, I'm stifling back the urge to cough. I've got a glass of water here. If I have to cough, so be it. That was one. Cheers, folks. Let's get that water down the hatch. I like to do these catch up with Mayos where I get to talk to some of you, see some of you in the comments and so forth. I want to do one of these every week if I can right now. So I'm going to try to do. And sometimes I'll do them this time. I'll be doing them like late afternoon on a Saturday. And sometimes I'll be doing them from the classroom on a Sunday morning. So it'll vary. It'll be sometimes here about 4 or 5 p.m. Eastern in the afternoon. Sometimes it'll be at that classroom Sunday mornings around 9 or 9:30 a.m. Eastern. It'll vary. All right, folks. So, okay, Patrick's here. Ringo Mania, his second best LP ever. Oh, are you talking about, where is the album? I put it on the side. It's funny. I went through trouble today. I agree with you, by the way. This is a great LP. It's his second, in my opinion. This new album, Look Up, is either his second or third best LP, somewhere around there, but right up there. Look at this. I put that. You can barely see it because it's kind of dark in here. I have a bigger light. I could have put the bigger light on. I didn't. I just have a lamp. But you can see there's the in-store poster over there, and my head is covering it. So a hell of a lot of good it did putting that poster up there. All right. So that didn't work out so great. But let's go and see who's here. Okay. James Farley. Hello. Hello. Rome loves Dan. Okay. Hello, George. What's going on? Joe F. Lucas. DJ Reed. Match Stickman. We got a good crowd here. Raymond. Michelle. Tony's. Mike Waljasper, Carol, Robbie. I'm trying to catch up here. Mr. Blood Vessel. Very good to hear from J.D. Thompson. Very nice to see you, Jill. Thought I'd join as I'm usually gone every week at this time. Thank you for joining me. I appreciate it. Hello, Lila. Thank you for the Anthony get together. Great to see him in good health. Yeah, it was great to get together with Anthony, and hopefully we're going to be doing more frequent videos now. Hopefully he's doing better. Tim, hello. What do you consider Ringo's best besides Ringo? Right now, as of January 11th of 2025, it's either this new album, Look Up, or probably Time Takes Time from 1992. Those to me are Ringo's three best albums. I don't, being how much I love this album, and I'm going to show you this form because I don't have the album handy itself, but I have the picture because this is the box that I won. This has a T-shirt in it and a CD. Anyway, this album we're talking about here. So this album, the Ringo self-titled album, and Time Takes Time are to me Ringo's finest three albums. I love this album so much that I greatly think there's no way I'm going to change my mind on it, but who knows? Strange things have happened in life. Captain Clockwork, what's going on? How are you doing there? Hello, Nicholas. How much of the album do you think Ringo will play live? Well, I hear the album's already doing very well, and the acclaim for it is positive, and mostly positive opinions of it. If it's really considered that good, and Ringo's very proud of it, I'm sure he'll do a number or two. He doesn't usually perform his new songs, unfortunately, in concert, but this one I think he might. possibly. Okay, but he's doing a show in Nashville coming up very soon, and in that Nashville show, I think it's two shows, but he's in Nashville, and he's supposed to have some of these artists with him who helped him on the album, I believe. Don't quote me that 100%, but I think he's supposed to do a show where he's actually doing the songs from the album. I don't think he's doing the usual all-star band thing. I think it's a special Ringo show, which is like something I've wanted to see, myself for a long time. Okay, my Ringo CD is supposed to show up yet today. I pre-ordered way ahead. I also ordered the vinyl, and it's not coming until the 20th. Crazy. What else is new? What else is new in this crazy world? Hello, Rory. Good evening to you. Yes, the song "I Don't Believe You" is very good. Jellyfish from the album "Time Takes Time." That's a great album. "Time Takes Time," 1992. If you're watching this, if you like Ringo, if you've never heard the album "Time Takes Time," please take the time to listen to it. I'm sure you're going to like it. It's a very popular album. Most fans love it. So I guess the issue is getting the appropriate backup singers to supplement his vocals. I thought of that as I was saying those words about maybe him doing it. You need to have the backup vocal. Imagine if Molly Tuttle, who was fantastic on this album. I never heard of Molly Tuttle before. Imagine if she could be part of this presentation, this concert. I think she may be. I don't know. But getting the backup singers to supplement his vocals if he decides to incorporate songs from the new album into his shows. Exactly. I wanted to get the exclusive Ringo Store vinyl, but it was very expensive, so I went with standard black. Yeah. I'm not really falling into that as much anymore. I'm really not. I've said this before. I don't know if you heard me, but I'm trying to watch how much stuff I get. I'm living more on a budget now, so I'm trying to. But having said that, I've just gotten back into comic books, and that can be a rabbit hole. But I just go with the flow. We live for today. No one's promised tomorrow, so I do. I try to have a good time. I'm trying to mute the trains. I'm trying to mute the trains, folks. So if I go silent for a while because lousy trains are coming by. Anyway, movie related. What film would you say you've watched the most times and never get tired of? There are a lot of films I've watched the most times. I never get tired of. Some of the titles are Kill Bill Volume 2, the Kill Bill saga, the Planet of the Apes films, the original ones from the 70s, Westworld, Jaws, the old black and white horror movies like Frankenstein Meets the Wolfman, that whole batch. Those I've watched the most. Never get tired of them. Joe, new concept, except loud budgeting. I did a video on it. I got to remember that. I'm going to write it down just so I remember, because maybe I want to check that out. Got to remember it. Is that like a new video? I'm just writing it all down. I call you Tony. I hope that's good. All right. I love Ringo's solo material. You and me both. Really excited about this one from your review, and also when I saw Billy Strings and T-Bone, I thought it would be good. I've been getting all Billy Strings albums. Very good. I'm looking into Molly Tuttle. I love her voice on this album. If I like it enough, I may check her out on her own. Can you believe that most of the fires in LA have been set Yeah, I'm a little. I don't really want to talk about this too much. It's a sad thing, and I'm not trying to get out of what's news. I feel, and believe me when I tell you, my heart goes out to anybody that's going through this. It's horrible, horrible. But when you say set, you mean people set the fires like arson? Is that what you mean? Um, Richard James, oh solo, Mayo. Any word on Paul coming out with London Town and Back to the Egg Archives? There's been no word about it. I heard Tom Hunyadi the other day, say he said this. We've talked about this before. He says, he doesn't really believe that he thinks that the series is done. I am uncharacteristically optimistic when it comes to the archives. I think it just, sure, they're not doing anything now. They haven't done anything for a few years, but I really believe eventually they're going to fix it. They're going to finish it up and do London Town and Back to the Egg. How can Ringo sound just like he did in the Beatles? He does, he does. I like Ringo. I like Ringo's voice, the way he sings. I do. But the thing is, I think the idea is, and I'm not trying to insult Ringo, but he never had a really great voice. I like it. I like the way he puts forth a song, but he doesn't have a classically great voice or anything. So I'm guessing you could say there's not a lot of ways for him to fall. He can't go down too much. I really don't know. Okay. I just have to remember. That's all, Tony. I just got to remember. As you could understand, there's so many things that we have to remember. So many things going on to do. And you get so many people contacting you or asking you to watch this, watch that. So I do the best I can. I could do better. Okay. Would you prefer the archives, London Town, Back to the Egg this year, or a new album if you could only choose one? Oh, wow. A new album from Paul or the archives? I want both. I want, of course, as a fan, I want everything. But I'd actually say, you know what? Give me London. I'd rather have London Town and Back to the Egg this year. And we can wait for the new Paul album, hopefully next year. Or maybe the other way around. I could say, you know what? Give me the new Paul album this year. We've waited long enough anyway. We've already waited years for London Town and Back to the Egg archives. What's another year going to matter? Okay, you being a Godzilla fan, you a fan of any of that? I don't like anime at all. I don't know what manga means, but I don't like cartoons or the anime stuff. I hear you, Robbie. Hard to believe Ringo is up in his 80s and still so good. My God. I have to say, though, I said this before. I was watching some interviews with Ringo. When Ringo speaks now, and this is not a criticism. This is not a criticism. I love Ringo. I wish if I could be half as together as he is, if I reach his age, I'd be happy. Having said that, though, just reporting it, I'm noticing his speech is getting a little slower, a little more slurred, a little more different. That's not a criticism. That's not making fun of him. I'm just telling you that I'm noticing that. But when I hear him sing, he still sounds the same. Now, of course, people know a lot of times his voice is auto-tuned. I still say auto-tune is something which I don't decipher. I'm glad I don't decipher. When I listen to the new Ringo album, I hear a very smooth voice. Maybe the reason it's so smooth is because it's auto-tuned. But whatever it is, anyway, it's hard to believe the man's going to be 85, God willing, in July. 85. This man on this album is close to 85. Really? The way he looks and sounds. Do you think Ringo's voice has aged better than Paul's? Well, I think Paul's voice has aged, period. And I don't think Ringo's has aged at all. I don't think like he's aged better. I think Ringo sounds like it hasn't aged at all, and Paul's has aged. That's how it sounds to my ears anyway. Would you say the Beatles were as good live as they were in the studio in the touring years? No, absolutely not. This is one of those times where I I critique the Beatles. I can criticize them. I think they were much better in the studio. I think they were great in the studio, and live they were rough. Now, having said that, I know they were great. Supposed to be great at the Cavern. They're supposed to be great in Hamburg. They were great on the rooftop. The old story when they really wanted to perform well and they were serious, and when they could hear themselves and there wasn't a lot of screaming and all the speakers were back and everything. You could at them you could hear they were much better. Okay, so I don't know if I still think they were. I think they were better in the studio. That's what I think, but under the right circumstances, live with the right equipment and no screams, and they could hear themselves, they were really dynamite on stage too. Would love a new Paul album this year. Well, yeah, I'm hoping there's going to be one. Really. Manga means comics from Japan. Yeah, I don't really get into that. I remember when I was growing up as a kid in the 1970s, they had a Godzilla comic book that came out from Marvel, and I never bought that. Also, could be potentially medications that could cause the liberation of flat out age. God bless him. Could be. I don't know if he's on medications or not. He's pretty healthy. I know that. He has a good diet and everything, but who knows? He sure doesn't look 85. No, well, he dyes his hair and his beard, and he took good care of himself since 1988. He goes to the gym, he works out. Well, I say go to the gym. He's got a personal trainer. I believe he has training, personal trainer. I don't know if he literally goes to the gym, but that's just a phrase. And I think that he takes care of himself since 1988 when he went sober. Yes, I noticed that too about Ringo's voice. I get a speaking voice, and my favorite songwriter, Bob Gaudio, his voice is also slowed down. How old is Bob Gaudio, George? Yeah, well, this is going to happen. This is going to happen. You have to accept it. You either accept it or you don't. Debbie Harry's going to be 80. How about that, huh? The idea of Blondie. The group is Blondie. Debbie Harry is the front singer, right? But I love Blondie, and she's going to be 80. That's wild. Auto tune is just another special effect. It's okay. John liked Echo on his voice. Well, that's the thing. I don't hear it to a distracting point with Ringo. If he's auto tuned, which a lot of people say he is, I always say I'm glad I don't hear it. I'm glad I can't. It doesn't stick out like a sore thumb for me, because otherwise it'd be very intrusive. Performing live, you are never going to get that studio polished sound. True. I mean, don't get me wrong, I've heard some damn good live performances. I'll throw in Joan Jett and the Blackhearts. I've seen Joan Jett and the Blackhearts. Well, I saw her in the 1980s, okay, in the 80s when she was really at her peak, so to speak. And she really sounded great, even live. When you buy DVD movies, are you bothered if there are no extra discs or Easter eggs or bonus features? I'm spoiled by a lot of those. I would like there to be special features on everything, commentaries, extras, deleted scenes, the whole shebang. But depending on what the movie is, like I just got a comedy today, came in the mail, starring John Ritter. It's called Skin Deep. It's a comedy, and from 1989. And I noticed there were no extras, and I said, "Oh, bummer, no extras." But it's okay. I'm glad to have the movie. The movie is the most important thing. Just like with music, yes, the record is the most important thing, or the music is the most important thing. But I also like a nice cover. I like to have a nice paraphernalia in there, poster, booklet too. People always make you choose. They say, what do what's more important, the music or who cares about, you can't play an album cover. They say you can't play a poster or a booklet. Who cares about books? I do. You don't have to choose one or the other, right? If you're gonna ask me to pick one, it would be the music every time. But fortunately, we don't have to pick just one. We can enjoy the music and then have supplements with it. Okay, Bob Gaudio is 82. Thank you for that. George. Should have an actor playing John made a brief appearance in the new Dylan movie. A lot of people are saying that they should have been. First of all, I love the new Dylan biopic, A Complete Unknown. I loved it. See my video on it a few videos back. I did a real good, excited review on it. And some people were saying that John should have been in there, John Lennon, or the Beatles should have made an appearance. That they should have had Dylan meeting the Beatles, turning them on to pot and all this stuff. I really didn't think it was necessary. Didn't think it was important. In fact, I think it would have distracted from the movie, taken away from the movie. And also, whenever you put the Beatles in a movie, they come off a lot of times as unintentionally funny or goofy or clumsy. You got people doing accents, Bob Dylan, what's going on? And it sometimes comes across unintentionally silly. So I don't think you needed it, to tell you the truth. All right. Hello, Darren. What's going on? Hello. Hello, Elvin. Hello, Russ. Good to see you. Let's see. Billy says, I like Rosetta. It really has a feel that echoes back to Matchbox and the 50s blues and rockabilly. Timeless. Rosetta is a really good track. I called it the most intense track. It's probably the biggest rock, if you want to use the word rock track. Okay, all these people listed, Bob Gaudio, Brian Wilson, and Paul McCartney, all the same age, 82 years old. There is a new Phil Collins documentary here on YouTube, and it shows how Phil can't play the drums anymore. I don't think he's anywhere near Ringo's age. Life and health works in funny ways, I guess. Yeah, knock wood every day if you're doing decent, and pray that it continues. Because health is everything. Ringo, speaking of drumming, I love Ringo's drumming on this new CD. Look up. His drums are fantastic. Okay. Does anyone compare the sound of CD versus vinyl in recent releases? I know it depends on your sound system. Well, on this new Ringo album, I bought the vinyl, but I haven't played it. I always tell people, and it's true. Like right now as I'm doing this live stream, I hear people or a person walking around upstairs. I think the person can hear me. Hello, if you hear me, but this is a very thin ceiling and thin wall apartment. But the point is, I don't play vinyl here really that often, very rarely. I play the CD and I play it in my car, and a lot of people frown on that. Let me tell you, you can frown all you want for you frowners out there. As long as it sounds fantastic and great and powerful and sharp to these ears, that's all I care about. Anyway, and I really, the CD sounds so good. I haven't played the vinyl of this one. And yeah, there's some people that compare sound, I'm going to see A Complete Unknown next week. Can't wait. And please let me know, Lila, what you think of it. Hello, Cherry Carter. Thank you for joining. I enjoy reading and listening to music. Legacy Volume 2 works great with one hand clapping through Back to the A. Yes, indeed. That's the new book, McCartney Legacy Volume 2. I saw A Complete Unknown on Monday. Yeah, did you tell me that you liked it? I think you did. For all David Lee Roth fans, there is a box set coming out in February of 5 solo CDs for about $50. Lila, it's very good, the Dylan biopic. Hello, Uncle Paul. Thank you. Check out Uncle Paul. Uncle Paul has a channel, Uncle Paul's Beatles Pop Playhouse. He doesn't just do Beatles, he does nostalgia. Check him out. Thank you for saying hello here, Uncle Paul. Joseph Mantaneo. Hey, Joseph, he told me in the comments he went to a Ringo listening party for Look Up, and he also, like me, was the one who won the raffle for the Ringo box. What is the T-shirt you like that you won in the listening party raffle? I will show it to you in a video. Please make sure you watch the next video that I do of new Beatle finds whenever I do one. It could take a while. I'm trying to amass enough stuff. But the thing is, the reason I say that is because I took it out of here once, and I can't. The thing is, I'm not going to open it up. It has this picture on it. It has this picture on it. It's a white shirt. The thing is, it's folded so tiny to fit in this box, and I don't want to have to. I don't know how I'm going to get it to fold that way again. I will admit the size is large, just large. And right now, I don't, I'm not a large right now. So, but it doesn't matter. I have it as a collectible. It also has a CD in it. Let's see. Sorry. I had a dream. I had a dream. Me and Joe were sat at a table. Mark McCartney walks past, looks out the window. Snow. I said Martha would enjoy that weather. Paul and me had a long chat, and Joe, meaning me, was upset he didn't get a word in. Well, yeah, I definitely would have liked to get a word in if Paul's there. I'll hang out with you and talk to you anytime, Cherry Carter. But if Paul McCartney was at the table, I'm going to talk to him. As Archie Bunker might say, no intents offended. Let's see. Okay, you got it, Uncle Paul. You got it. Joseph says it was a great time at the Ringo listening party. Glad you had a good time. Edward Norton was really good as Pete Seeger. Yes, in the new Bob Dylan biopic, A Complete Unknown. I agree 1,000%. Edward Norton, very good as Pete Seeger. He gained my respect for sure with that. I think CDs sound good. Vinyl can be a lot better, but it depends more on your equipment and the quality of the pressing. Yeah. I like vinyl and CDs, but I like CDs quite a bit these days. Where is the shirt? I think you mean in CD from. I missed that. Well, you can check out my most recent video. It's a short video. It's only like 3 minutes or something. You could see how I won it. I won it. This here. It's in a box. I won this at a listening party. They had an in-store listening party, and a bunch of us got together, listened to the CD. They played it in the store, and we had raffle tickets to win a prize, and I won. Hello, what's up, lady? I was curious if you would open that prize box or not. Yeah, so was I. It was shrink wrapped. It was in the shrink wrap. Yes, I know you meant shirt. That's okay. Do you know if anything special is happening for the Jaws 50th anniversary? I have not heard anything yet, but I'd be very, very, very surprised. Very surprised if you don't get something coming in the theater. Okay. I haven't heard Ringo's new country album. Astro Zombie tells me it's auto-tuned to hell. Regardless, it's nice to see Ringo still having fun with music. I consider it one of his best albums, by far one of his best albums. And I say I can't really hear the auto-tune, but I'm glad I can't, I'm glad I can't. Everybody out there, I can hear auto-tune, when it's obvious. I always use the example of, that song Believe with Cher, because that was part of the effect of her voice. They wanted it to stretch, believe and all that. And Ringo, of course, made a complete farce out of it deliberately when he auto-tuned it extra much to hell on the song Money, the cover of Money that he did on his What's My Name album. But if it's auto-tuned, it sounds great to me on the new album. I was relieved it didn't sound as country as I feared. Well, I know somebody that told me they weren't happy because it didn't sound country enough. Somebody told me. I think it was just the right mix of country and pop. It's just the right mix. I listen to the album and I get a country feel out of it. I do. Uh, that's a cool Ringo package. Yes, indeed. I'd say it's pretty okay. Yeah, check out my video with that. CDs are a great format, and I hope that they don't go the way of the 8-track tapes. Like I said, even if they do, you can still find ways to play them. Well, I think you mean also with new releases. You don't want them to go the way of 8-track tapes to the point where you're not able to buy new releases on CDs and they don't make them anymore. But you'll still always be able to play the old CDs. Just like you can still play 16 millimeter movies, 8 millimeter movies, reels. You still can play 8-track tapes if you get them repaired and you find a good used player in the shops. So, hello, John. Very nice. Agree with your assessment about Ringo's LP. It is excellent. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I mean, thank you that you agree. I'm glad we see eye to eye on that. Oh, really? I knew that Andy. I saw a picture of Andy that he went to the listening party. Did he win it? Did he win it or did he buy it? I don't know. You're the first one to say. You're the first one to say this, Matchstick Man. Nobody's come. I was surprised. I thought people were going to think it was cool looking. I liked it. There's something new. Lunchbox, such a nice find. Gotta believe they didn't make many. Can we see it? I have it in a place now I can't get to. I'm sorry. I'm going to put that in my next Beatle finds too. Do you think they made a lunchbox for each of the 64 LPs? Well, I didn't see one for the each one, just for that one. It jumped out at me, and I said I got to have this as for a collector's piece. And the thing is, I'm not going to use it. Obviously, I don't think they make lunchboxes anymore to really be used. I mean, they're not like they were when I was a kid, with a thermos. There's no thermos or anything in there. Kind of small, not very sturdy. And I've said this before, I don't really collect too much retro Beatles stuff. I like Beatles stuff from the 60s, and stuff, and the solo stuff from the 70s. Anything like this. This is not retro. This is new. This is from 2025. It's supposed to be, right? But once in a blue moon, something like that lunchbox, if it really catches my eye and it's cool, I'll get it. Oh, so Andy won that CD. Really? That's cool. I'm sorry if I missed that, Eric. No problem. Oh, Uncle Paul says all the 1964 albums are available on their site as lunchboxes. Well, if that's the case, I may have to get the Beatles' second album. That's one. I don't think I would want them all on a lunchbox, but the Beatles' second album would be dynamite to have. The EPs that Ringo brought out recently, are these tied in with this album? I know you guys were saying, why doesn't he bring out an album? No, this has nothing to do with the EPs, although I was watching an interview with Ringo. The last song on this album, called Thankful, that's the only song that Ringo had a hand in writing. And it's the only song, funny enough, that mentions peace and love. We're spared that peace and love sentiment, through the entire album for once, except for the last track, Thankful, which I'm thankful that, I have no problem with peace and love. We just don't want to overdose on those lyrics. And that's the only song that Ringo wrote. But anyway, I learned from the interview from Ringo that I heard, that was a song, I think, that was going to be on an EP, I think. And I said when I first heard it, it sounded like typical Ringo. Bruce Sugar wrote it with him. Bruce Sugar is great. His stuff's great with Ringo, but he's helped with Ringo to write some good stuff over the past years on the EPs. But it sounds more like a typical Ringo EP song to me. Thankful. I watched the official clip for Ringo Look Up, found myself picking on poor lyrics, lame sentiment, Ringo's voice. Moments later, walking around, found myself humming the tune after one listen. what I like about it. Look Up is probably I said originally it was my favorite song on the album, but now I played the album about 4 or 5 times, maybe 5 times, and I've gotten to know the whole album. And there are other songs I like even better, maybe, but that's what it's all about for me: being able to hum a song, a tune's staying like an earworm in your head. I think CDs will stick around. 8 tracks were more brittle and never really sounded that great. True. Though I enjoy collecting ones, so I have that. Somewhere here, I still have. This is a good time. Hang around for a minute, JD. Don't go anywhere because it's worth me finding this for you to show you. I picked this up for you a long time ago, and I'm going to send it to you. Mark my words, I'm going to send it to you. But easy does. Oh, you hear that? I knew it. I knew it. I'm trying to get underneath a whole bunch of tapes here, and it wasn't really a big avalanche. Just a little bit. Just a little avalanche. I'm going to show you what I picked up a while ago with you in mind, because you can see the Bee Gees that are there, right? Hold on. I'll come back up in a second. Oh, my mouse is dead. Oh, come on. Why is the mouse dead? I can't have that now. It's a bad time for that to happen. All right. Look at that. Bee Gees. Sealed. Spirits Having Flown. And I bought this with you in mind. Wow, what's happening to this thing? Damn. I don't know how that happened. It's not working. I need a mouse. I don't like using the finger pad. I really don't. Come on. This is no time to have a battery run out. Got a battery in the mouse. Come on. Is this riveting? This is riveting live. It's not working. Usually you just take it, put it back in. That only happened since I dropped everything. I don't know why. Since I dropped the few cassette tapes down, this happened. Not working. All right. I wonder if Paul wrote any of the new Ringo album. The answer is no. He did not. Oh, the Hard Day's Night Lunchbox. That's another one. The Hard Day's Night Lunchbox will look really good. This is hard to do without the mouse. Well, hang around, folks. This won't take long. I have some other new batteries. I got this new battery pack in here. Let's see if a new battery makes a difference. If it doesn't, I'll have to figure it out. I hope this is the answer, because if it's not, I don't know. I don't know what happened. It doesn't make any sense, folks. All right. This is a good chat. I don't want to have it end. We had a good amount of people here too, so hang loose. There. See, it works now. Good. I got it to work. So I'm sorry for the comments that I overlooked here while I was having this little debacle. All right, we're caught up here. I almost am. Spirit is my favorite album of all time. I didn't know that. I didn't even know it was your favorite album. I just picked it because I know you like the Bee Gees. Hello, Andy from Spain. Hello. Hope the fires in LA stop soon. Oh, man. Me too. What a disaster. What a way to start the year out. Loving Ringo's new album. My favorite being "Time on My Hands." I've gotten to really like "Time on My Hands." I didn't love it so much when it first came out, but that's what happens. I mean, I liked it, but that's what happens. It's true sometimes if you hear things over and over again. Get a load of this, folks. I was at my record store today, and they were playing "Pet Sounds" by the Beach Boys, and they were playing some tracks that I, don't know well. And you know what? The couple that I heard didn't sound bad. I mean, I didn't love them, but people know I famously come down hard on Pet Sounds as the most overrated album in history. But just my opinion. Just my opinion. Thank you, Scott. But I wound up liking a couple of the songs, and I don't remember the names of them. If you could recommend one song from Ringo's new album, what would you want us to listen to? I'd pick "Look Up." I think "Look Up" is the most commercial song on there. And I also think that it should have been the first single. That's my opinion of that. I have a Japanese import CD of Pet Sounds. It sounds excellent. Very good. Very good. I'm sorry if I'm missing things. I'm trying to go back up here for a minute. Would you say it was Ringo that was best mates with the rest of the individual members of the Beatles? Yes, I would. Ringo said it changed from time to time. Sometimes it would be John and Paul. Sometimes it'd be George and John. Sometimes it'd be Ringo and John and Paul. Whatever. But Ringo, yeah, I'd say, long story short, yes, I'd agree with you on that. Hello, Josh. Yeah, I don't agree with you, but that makes the world go round. We all have different opinions, and that's fine. Let me see. Yeah, that's what I would say. Yes, he kind of overdoes the peace and love message. Peace Dream is an okay song. I love the song Peace Dream. Paul McCartney plays bass on that song. I love that. It's got I adore that song. It's from 2010. It's from the album Ringo Why Not? The letter Y. Why not? And to me, that's one of Ringo's better 21st century albums. What artist do you hate, or is it not completely hate? Complete hate. Right now on the spur of the moment, it's hard for me to think of one. Although I'm sure I'm not copping out. I tell you easy. I tell you flat out. But I just can't think of it right now. Trying to just catch up here. Look, I missed kind of scroll back down now. I feel the same way. I've often said to myself, it's amazing. Ringo was said to, I think he told his mother he'll be dead in the morning. He was very sick as a child. He wasn't supposed to make it even to 15, maybe. And he's going to be 85. Well, we don't, God willing, but. Country doesn't sound country to me anymore. Yeah, I guess as long as it has those, a harmonica, maybe I don't know, a tinny piano, pedal steel guitar, some twangs here and there, and those country-esque female vocals here and there on the side. Sounds country enough for me, Yeah. I don't want to get into a bigger thing about Pet Sounds, but yeah, that's how I feel. No, you can't compare it to Pepper, Something new lunchbox going for 30 to 40 on eBay. No. I paid much less than that. I wouldn't have paid that much. Michael Nolan said Ringo not flashing the peace sign is kind of like expecting Royce Eddings to not say welcome to Royce in the house. I remember that thing, Royce in the house, but do you think on February 5th at the Grammys they will come away with any statues? Now and Then is up for Record of the Year with stiff competition for mega stars, and Mind Games up for Best Box Set. I think Now and Then is going to win something, but what I've heard that Now and Then, am I wrong? Somebody tell me about this. I heard that Now and Then was up for two things, Record of the Year and maybe something else like Best Pop Record or folk or rock or something like that. I'm giving you my predictions here. I'm predicting that if now and then is up for two awards, I'm predicting that it does not get record of the year. Although I'd love it to, but I think they're going to just give it to like whatever the other category was. That's what I think. Okay, as far as Mind Games being the best box set, I wasn't really overly enamored with it, but it is very complex, complicated. Very involved. A lot of work went into it, so it wouldn't surprise me if it picked up an award. Pet Sounds is very good, but I don't believe that it compares with Rubber Soul, Revolver, etc. Ditto. The songs with Molly Tuttle are really great. Double ditto. I agree with you. That's a good guitar sound on Look Up. Billy Strings guitar and Molly really added a lot to the new album. Yes, and you know what I love about it? Scott, you know what I love about it? The production by T-Bone Burnett is fantastic. The singing, the background singers, the harmonies are fantastic. Like you said, Billy Strings is great. Molly Tuttle is great. Everybody's great. But that doesn't mean Ringo just got an easy ride. Like he didn't do anything. Because Ringo's drumming is great. I like Ringo's voice on this. I didn't love it as much on some other ones, but I love his voice on the auto-tuned or not. I like the way Ringo sounds. I like the way, and his voice is up front. His drumming and his singing are great on this album. So he also contributes. It's not just like his friends are doing all the work, he contributes as well. There you go. Pet Sounds is great. Brian Wilson is a genius. That's what they say. Well, I mean, and of course, I asked a guy at the store who's a Beach Boys fanatic. I said, "Isn't Wrecking Crew playing on this?" I mean, the drums. I heard the drums, and I forget what track it was. It was like a drumming, like boom. They play a drum every now and then it would get like very like mysterious and ominous, and it'd be another like drum thing. And I said, you don't have Dennis Wilson on the drums or anything, right? On this, no, it's the Wrecking Crew. Okay, Wrecking Crew, but they didn't play it. But Brian Wilson being a genius, I like a lot of what Brian Wilson did. Let's leave it at that. Oh yeah, see, Comeback is one of the ones that's more country sounding. Yes. Comeback is probably the countryest sounding of the album tracks, and I love that song already. Talking of collaborations, I remember Please Read the Letter by Robert Plant and Alison Krauss. Beautiful. Alison Krauss is on the album on one song, Thankful. And unfortunately, I think her voice is a little low in the mix, but I do like it. I do like that you can immediately tell that's Ringo on the drums. The swing is alive and well on the new album. His drumming is on pitch. The timing is great. The fills. Ringo is Ringo. It's some of his best drumming. I don't say that about everything Ringo drums on just because it's Ringo. I've actually started liking country more and more. I like how Billy Strings makes bluegrass sound like classic rock, pop, and alternative modern all at the same time. Willie Nelson is actually a top shelf songwriter. You are correct about Now and Then is up for two. I don't agree that John and George won't get awards. We wouldn't have this song without Yoko or George, and George did play on the song. Well, look, I heard something about that. I heard something about John and George are not in contention to get an award or posthumous award. Let me tell you something. This is John Lennon wrote the damn song. I mean, it's John. Now I get into this with some people. Oh, this is a John Lennon song. This is not a Beatles song. It's a John Lennon song. I really don't want to get into that argument in this particular chat. It's going too good. But John should get credit. That's the bottom line. Is John should get credit through Yoko, through Sean, posthumously. George George plays on. There's some of George on this. I don't know exactly where, but I've heard. Well, you've got George's voice on it. You've got George's voice on it. I don't want to make it sound like John should get credit, not George. But I'm saying if anybody was going to get credit out of the two, it should be John. John wrote the song for the most part. You know. Yes, Billy Strings is such a talent, can play absolutely anything in any style. The Beach Boys were on tour when Pet Sounds was being made. That's funny. That's funny. There you go. That's Ringo for sure. Yeah. I enjoy Pet Sounds, at least the majority of the songs. After Good Vibrations, I don't believe Brian did anything else with that chart success. I could be wrong. Comeback could be a single, really. I don't even know if there's such a thing as singles anymore. They say there are. Singles mean what? Downloading singles, streaming singles, I guess. You know, at least that's what a single is these days. It's really nice that at this late date is an excellent new album by an 84-year-old Ringo. Amen, brother. Amen. I think that is fantastic. Again, it's a word I keep using. It's incredible. It's always been a wish of mine, a personal dream, if you will, not to get corny on you. But I always wanted Ringo to have some success in later years. Say for the last, I don't know, 30 years or so. I always wanted him to have some kind of success and appreciation. And I think if this doesn't do it, nothing will do it. And I always said, and a lot of fans have felt the same way, that with Ringo, he's so well suited for country. And the Beatles, he did Matchbox, he did Honey Don't, he did What Goes On, Don't Pass Me By, the whole thing, Honey Don't, all this stuff. Ringo is always well suited to country. A lot of fans, including myself, said, why doesn't Ringo get back to country? He does it so well. Finally, he's done it. But this exceeded my expectations. This new album far exceeded my expectations for Ringo by a mile. Okay, I knew a country album could be pretty good. Then they would be this good. This perfect to me. It's perfect. All right. So anyway, I'm just hoping. I mean, expecting a number one is a lot to dream about, but I hope it gets higher in the charts, top 10, something like that. I would love Ringo to get this late in life acclaim for this or something. I really would. Yes, exactly. Yeah, I pointed that out in my review. Joe Walsh is on there playing slide. I agree. 1,000%. Yeah, I know. Yes, I'm familiar with Ringo's album "Sentimental Journey." I think it's a nice album. I may prefer it as an album of standards to Paul's album "Kisses on the Bottom." I think Ringo's album. I just think the musicians are so great on there, and the production is great on "Sentimental Journey." Ringo sings the songs well. I wonder why Ringo never hardly seems to play the UK. I'm afraid he's no longer fond of the UK anymore. I think that was a controversial thing that happened back when Liverpool 8 came out. I hate saying it, I hate believing it, but I think. I didn't know anything by T-Bone Burnett before hearing this album, and now I'm convinced. I mean, the production, the producing, and the writing, because T-Bone did a lot of the writing on here and the producing, and he is really deserving of an award for this album. Am I still friends with Lou? He was one of my favorite early guests on your channel. You guys played off each other hilariously. Yes, I'm still friends with Lou. I haven't seen him in years. I think I ran into him 3 years ago at a horror movie convention. We went to a movie convention. He was there, and we talked a little. Unfortunately, we live far enough from each other that we just don't get together. We talk on the phone every now and then, but I really wish we could get together more and he'd be in videos, but it's been a long time. Don't Bother Me. Don't Bother Me was it George Harrison's first song that he ever wrote, and George sings it. And George sings "Don't Bother Me," and it's George's first ever composition. There you go. Now you're talking about a real genius. I mean, Anthony is a genius. Talk about a genius. Yes, Trish, let me tell you something. I got the VCLT. I'm going to show it here. I was going to make a video, but hold on a minute, please. I have it here. I just want to reach over. Is it still here? Is this it? Trish, I have it. I'm going to show it. You are the sweetest, most giving person ever in the vinyl community. I got it a little late. No fault of yours. Let me show you what she got me. First of all, Trish always sends me and a lot of people her different mixes. This is the Christmas mix, Cool Yule for 2024. I'm sorry about the lighting in here. Thank you. And also, you ready for this? Billy Joel. I like Billy Joel. I've talked about it very often. I was going to make a special video for this, Trish. And it's got all the CDs in there. It's got all his stuff. Look at that. Thank you so much, Trish. It's so much appreciated. She is so lovely, this woman. She does things for everybody. She's always giving gifts. When I started way back in 2012, she sent me VCLT. And I'm trying to think of the right stuff to send you, because I was talking about that with my girlfriend about what to send DJ Trish. But anyway, I want you to know, Trish, I appreciate it. I had it here handy. I was going to make a video thanking you for this. I still will do that at some point. But what happened was the Ringo album came out, and then there's a lot of Ringo videos, so you gotta, concentrate on the Ringo because it's news. So thank you, Trish. You're the best, Trish. You're the best. Please, everybody, go over and check out DJ Trish. It's the CD master. Okay. Let's see now. Where were we here? A lot of comments. Okay, DV wants to ask a question. Go ahead. You don't have to ask permission. Let me go back here. I'm sorry, folks. I'm going up again. T-Bone Burnett produced his wife Sam Phillips' albums as well. She's really good. My dog is named Ringo Joe. That's how much I love the guy. I always wanted to see Ringo record the song John had given to him as a country-style song. Life Begins at 40, yeah. But because of what happened, decided against it. Wonder now if he revisits. Yeah, I think Life Begins at 40 would have been perfect for Ringo. I think maybe he might have recorded it for Stop and Smell the Roses. But of course, as this famous sad story goes, they didn't quite make it because John was supposed to give Ringo a song for Stop and Smell the Roses, and it didn't work out. John was taken from us. But yeah, Life Begins at 40, I think, was written with Ringo in mind. I think. Here in Liverpool, his statue head has been removed quite a few times. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I have searched high and low for my first Butcher LP. I don't like what I see on eBay. I have tried. Oh, there's like a gnat in here. I have tried a few retails in the USA that I contacted online, but no luck so far. Suggestions? Yes, I do. Mr. Sticker Mania. Go over to the channel, Mr. Sticker Mania. Like stickers, hype stickers. Mr. Sticker Mania. His name's Frank, and he's a master of butcher covers. The real butcher covers, real legitimate butcher covers. Don't Bother Me is an impressive first song. I agree. I love Don't Bother Me is one of my favorite Beatles songs of all time. Also, Pete Townsend said that Can't Explain was the very first song he wrote too. And Can't Explain is one of my very favorite Who songs of all time as well. T-Bone Burnett played with Dylan in the 70s and currently on the road with Alison Krauss and Robert Plant. The Stranger is still my favorite other than 52nd Street. We're talking about Billy Joel. Glass Houses is good too. I love Glass Houses. Yeah, when I was in high school, Glass Houses was very big. Come to think of it, when I was in high school, all Billy Joel's albums were big, including The Stranger. I remember there was a girl in my school named Virginia, and I remember this guy. Only the Good Die Young. That song was popular, and I could still see. We were at the lockers, and this guy was singing "Come On, Virginia." He was singing trying to coax Virginia in our school. Right at the time the song was new. Only the Good Die Young. So there you go. I am taking my boys to Ringo at the Hard Rock Casino in Hollywood, Florida. Enjoy. The Ringo album will be harder to get on vinyl soon until they repress it. Poor Trish got Joe's Mind Games Deluxe Uber box. No, she didn't. Are you going to see Ringo when he plays in New York City? You know what? I wasn't going to. I've seen Ringo. I tried counting last night. I get mixed up with Ringo. Paul, I know I've seen Paul 11 times and a sound check. Ringo, last night I was able to count 9 times that I was sure of. So I'm sure of 9 times that I've seen Ringo. And I thought, if I see him one more time, that would make 10 and even 10. I wasn't, put it this way, I just wasn't going to go this time. But I think that because I love this album so much, if I hear that he's going to be doing a song or two from the album, I might go. I don't know. Yeah, I did a video that I thought would take off better than it did, but it never did. I did a video saying, is George the best lyricist in the Beatles? Because I started to think, I always loved George's music, but solo music too, I'm talking about. But I never really paid that much thought to the lyrics. And then when I started thinking about it, George has great lyrics in his songs. I like My Generation. But I don't. There you go. The Who's Anyway, Anyhow, Anywhere could be considered prototype punk rock song. Looking forward to Taylor Swift being 90 and still well remembered like Elvis. Yeah, it was Elvis's birthday the other day, January 8th, 3 days ago. He would have been 90. Wow. That's something, huh? Exactly, Eric. That's exactly what it was. Exactly. Okay, everybody. I'm caught up with the comments. Cheers. We'll leave some more. We're 62 minutes into this. I never know how long I'm going to go. I kind of go by the vibe. Like sometimes I do an hour. Sometimes I do an hour 10. Sometimes I do 90. Why My Generation overrated, Tim? I think it highlights the band. Yeah, I like it. I like it. Okay. Tell him Mr. Mayo sent you, Joe Mayo. Hopefully it works out for you, all right. I don't know. JM, have you heard Billy Fury's cover of the Elvis song Because of Love? No. Billy met the king and got his blessing to do the track. Never heard it. I don't think so, anyway. Wonder if Ringo would ever consider releasing his version of the Billy Swan song I Can Help that he once covered. Right, he did once cover it with the Chips Moman sessions, right? That were a mess, and he sued to I know you know this, John, but some people may not know. I love that song, I Can Help. Elvis did a version of it. Ringo did a version of it. It never came out. I would like him to do it. Oh, so you're talking about, well, overplayed. To me, in my opinion, overplayed and overrated are two different things. But you know, would you say you really got the taste for movie reviews now? Keep them coming, Joe. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you for reminding me too. I have another channel. Anybody here who doesn't know, I have another channel where I deal with movies and TV, things like that. Also comic books. I'm getting into comic books a little bit, but mostly movies and TV. And I have this other channel here, Mr. Cinemayo. So please, if you haven't subscribed already, I'm trying to get to 2,000 subs over there. I'm very close to 2,000 subs, but I haven't gotten there yet. So I would appreciate that. Um, I'll leave that up for a little while. But yeah, I'm trying hard, Lila, to keep doing movie reviews and keep any kind of content. Really, I'm trying to keep content on the movie channel because that's something I've been lacking in for a long time. I lose interest in the channel, and I shouldn't. I'm trying hard. If more people would go over there, comment now and then, if don't force it. You don't have to force it. But if you're so inclined and you want to go over there and check out some of my videos, some of them are movie reviews, some of them are going shopping to find things, showing memorabilia, autographs, all kinds of things. I really would appreciate it. You know. So thank you for that. Okay. That's true. Elvis was in my record store. I did a video. You're not going to believe this. Elvis Presley is still alive. I mean, I know people sometimes claim that. Yeah, he is. You know how I know? Because he came into my record store, Elvis, so many years ago now. I did a video. You have to do a search for it. The video is called Elvis, something like Elvis is alive and well and shopping at the record store. Elvis is alive and well and shopping at the record store. And he came in, and it was Elvis, the real Elvis. And at the end of the video, he gives me a present. Okay? So check it out. The thing, I don't mind this song. I like the song, okay, but it goes on. The song goes on for miles and miles. At the end, I can see for miles. I can see for miles. They keep saying it over and over again. Uh, and yes, I know Hey Jude goes na 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 Hey Jude for a long time too. Yeah, this is a new thing, right? The buy me a coffee or something. Is that what you're talking about? When you have that little code up in the corner. Uh, I don't know how that works. Maybe I'll figure it out. But if anybody wants to send contributions, by the way, I don't mind. You can go down below and there's a dollar symbol, and you hit the dollar symbol, and you can make a donation. So feel free or not. It's okay. It's not a requirement. It's always appreciated. It's never required, obviously. Okay, Eric, thank you very much. Very good, very good. That would definitely be the title. Yes. Sure, for enough money, Elvis is still alive. Right. Movie related. Have you ever seen the Who's Tommy movie? I caught it on TV about 4 years ago, late at night, and I saw most of it. I've never watched the whole movie all the way through. Let's put it that way. Any Mikey Arugula videos coming up? That guy has so much stuff; it's insane. Yeah, we do have one coming up. We're supposed to get together next week. Supposed to get together next week to do a video. So keep on the lookout. I know a lot of people like the Mikey Arugula videos. So I mentioned on Rachel's the other day that you saw Elvis in the record store. I remember that video. Yeah, yeah. I even met Yoko. Yoko came into the record store. You got to find the videos though. I don't know exactly. I don't know exactly where the Yoko one is, but she's in the thumbnail picture. If you go into, it's one of the. I think it's one of the record store reality videos with Yoko. So, all right. This is Really enjoying this live stream. It's going well tonight. I'm going to have to get off soon anyway, so I'm going to wrap this up soon, folks. So let's wrap this up in like 5 minutes or something like that. We'll see what we can talk about until then. Hello, Tony. No, I did not see Garth Brooks singing Imagine at Carter's funeral. I've heard about it, though, you know. What's for dinner? Chicken parm. We actually have chicken legs. Chicken legs. Do you know if Don has a mobile phone? He does. He has a phone. He does have a phone of some kind of phone. I enjoyed rewatching Elvis on tour, and That's the Way It Is the other day. Yeah, one day I saw them on cable one time. They were both on back to back, I think. I'm glad you enjoyed the stream, JD Thompson. I hope to talk to you soon again. And yeah, I mean, doing well. Hope you're doing the same. Spent most of yesterday doing genealogy, left Ringo's album on the whole time, so I probably heard it 10 times and enjoyed it the whole time. Good for you, Michael. Like I said in my review, look, if people don't like Ringo, look, I didn't like the last one. The last EP was called Crooked Boy. Everybody loved the Crooked Boy EP. I like one song on it. I think February Sky. I like February Sky. The other three, it was same old, same old. I could take them or leave them. Nothing great to me. But I said on this particular one here, I really believe that if anybody's honest with themselves, not everybody thinks 100% alike. Everybody has their own opinions. But if you really listen with an open mind and just listen and stop trying to just dethrone Ringo or something like that for the hell of it because he's Ringo, I think you'll admit this is a better production and better than usual. That's what I think. When is the next live stream? Well, let me think. What's today? Saturday. For the next Catchup with Mayo, this one, I think is going to be probably not tomorrow, but the Sunday after in the morning. Because not tomorrow, but the Sunday after, which I think is the 19th. I think the 19th of January in the morning, 9:30 a.m. That's when I'm probably going to do the next one. Now, the question is, I also got to go back to the classroom on Tuesday nights, starting this Tuesday. I don't know if I'm going to have some kind of stream on Tuesday or not. I don't know. I may have something on Tuesday night, but that'll be late for you. It'll be midnight where you are, Lila. Tuesday. I spent part of a day at a record show hanging out with Elvis drummer DJ Fontana. We did some record hunting, and he pointed out his favorite albums with Elvis. That sounds amazing. But Elvis must have the worst album covers ever. No, I don't agree with that. I like Elvis album covers. Where's Robbie Detroit's vinyl? He's the Elvis collector, too. So, Hello, James. Thank you very much. I appreciate that, James. Thanks. So, okay, we'll do a few more minutes. Okay, any more comments? DJ Fontana was a nice guy and was a big record collector. We met some other musicians, including the late Jeff Healey, who was at shows collecting 78s back in the day. Can you give us a hint of the next movie you will be reviewing? Yeah, I'm not sure if it'll be the next one, but one of the next ones I'm going to review is one that I talked about in this live stream. and it stars John Ritter. That's all I could say. If I decide to go for that might be the next one. I don't know. So we're gonna we'll go like I keep extending it. I have a little time, but I do have to go out. I have to go out in like a half an hour, but I still have like another 5 minutes or so. Oh yeah, no, it's not Bad Santa. No, it's not Bad Santa. And I mentioned it earlier in this stream. So I didn't mention Bad Santa, but she asked for a hint. That's why I said, thank you, Russ. Thank you. You too. Sling Blade. Nope. So, yeah, talk about somebody said, some of these celebrities that left us far too early and too shockingly, surprisingly, unexpectedly. John Ritter was one of them. Hello, Elliot. Oh man, I'm going to be signing off soon in like 5 minutes or so. So if you have any observations or comments, Elliot, please get them in. So, Elliot, what do you think of the Ringo album? I'm sure you must have heard it. You must have it. Do you love it as much as I do? Yeah, I hear you. From your lips to Mother Nature's ears. Oh yeah, no doubt about that. That's production can sometimes make a hell of a difference with a record, but to me, the songs, everything's good. The songs are good. The singing is good. The instrumentation, including Ringo's drumming, are good. Everything is good, and the production is outstanding. Everything comes together on this album. Look Up, in my opinion. Right, right. Good point. The packaging is amazing on this too. Right, absolutely. I'm homesick, enjoying the new Ringo album. Love it. Top notch album. It's almost unanimous. I did get, you're always going to get a couple of comments that think like, otherwise. That's just the way it is. You know, not, that's the human race. I mean, not everybody's going to love the same thing. I don't know if Lila's still here, but you wanted to know about when's the next live stream. I'm also I'm not saying 100% I can pull this off, but I may try to do on Tuesday evening. Tuesday evening, but again, Tuesday evening that means 12 midnight for people in England. I'm going to try maybe to do a Ringo Look Up Fab Gab. Maybe people who have heard the album want to talk about it. We can get together and talk about it with a panel. And if anybody's listening to this, any of my friends, that want to be on it, contact me. So before I contact you, contact me and say, yeah, I'd like to do that. you know, yeah, yeah. I feel like that. Yeah. So far, I have the black vinyl, white vinyl, CD shirt box set, and listening party poster. Well, how did you do that? Did you get it like from somebody else, or did you win the raffle? Because everybody seems to have won the raffle. I'm wondering, like, it's not like there were a lot of people that go into these listening parties. By the way, we didn't have that many in my group, and I don't think. But still, you got the odds is still against you. Yeah, I agree. I agree. I mean, there were other, believe me, I like a lot of Ringo's solo records in the 21st century, and some I didn't like as much. But this one is the best in the 21st century to me. All right, so that's it. Ready to go, folks. So, okay, I got you. Oh, I see. I see. Okay. Thank you, everybody. This was a lot of fun. I appreciate everybody being here. This was really a cool chat. It was great to do. I'm anxious to do the next one. I'm going to try to come on here doing a catch up with Mayo, solo Mayo, live stream by myself. I want you to know also, you might be wondering, well, what's going on? Nobody asks, but what's going on with the Mayo Lounge when I have guests on here? I'm still going to do some of those, but I'm taking a little break for the moment. But they'll be back. I'm sure they'll be back. But right now I'm taking a little break. So yeah, this has been great. Thank you, everybody. I'll talk to you soon. Watch my channel. Subscribe if any chance you haven't. Subscribe to my movie channel, Mr. Cinemayo. And yeah, thank you again, everybody. Talk soon. Get your Ringo album if you haven't gotten it already. Yo.